Hi, I'm Bill Angelos. What you were just watching was my first encounter 14 years ago with a device that was known back then as the TDU, the Tongue Display Unit. It was called that because that's what it did, and still does, by the way. It creates a representation on the tongue of the relationship of the individual wearing the device and gravitational forces. Now that is generally a task that is performed by the vestibular system, which is somewhere in the back of the head here in the inner ear area, and it literally tells us which way is up. Unfortunately, in Cheryl Schultz's case, her vestibular system had been all but destroyed. Enter the brain port. Now, it wasn't called the brain port back then. That happened a few weeks after I shot that video and joined the team. One morning, Paul Bacchirita came into the office and told us that he had been talking to a neighbor of his who suggested a new name. This was back in the day when USB technology was introduced to the general public. And what the neighbor was suggesting was that this device seemed to be a USB port to the brain, hence the name brain port. Well, turns out that such was not the case. It was not a USB port to the brain. However, the name stuck. What didn't stick was a number of things, beginning with the way the device looks. Remember what it looked like then with the hat and all of the paraphernalia? This is that same device today. One wears it around the neck, puts this on their tongue, and adjusts it accordingly, and the magic begins. You'll see all that happening a little ways down the line. Let's get back to the video you were just watching. In it, Paul mentions two words. The first word was substitution. What was believed back then was that the signal was being substituted from the vestibular system to the tongue. Well, that's not really what happens. What actually happens is the signal is augmented. It's added. We'll explain how that happens a little ways down the line. But let's go to the second word, the second term actually, therapeutic effect. This is really what the whole proposal is about. You saw this happen to Cheryl, if only for a few minutes in that video, where her whole demeanor changed. She was relaxed, not holding on to anything for at least a few minutes. And at the end of the video, Paul calls it the therapeutic effect. And he also mentions that he'll have to look into the brain mechanisms to figure out how that happens. Well, the brain mechanisms really were never a part of it. However, the therapeutic effect not only stuck, but it started getting stronger and stronger. And that's what this proposal is really all about.